Saving Face was my very first feature film, and it was a series of a lot of auditions, basically. I mean, I got it after auditioning for months, and almost everyone I know went in for it. And it's such a special film to me. I always get a little emotional talking about it because at the time I didn't know how special it was, just because it was my first. And I thought all movies were like that. I thought, the scripts
they're all amazing.
And casts and the experience afterwards. We premiered at Toronto and went to Sundance, and Sony Pictures Classics bought us, and everything that happened after that was just exactly like the dream. What you go into indie film hoping to achieve, but what so rarely happens. And I didn't know that at the time. So looking back, when we were screening in San Francisco at the reunion, Michelle and I were messes, like we were crying the entire movie watching it. And it was the first time we could actually experience it as audience members, not as people who were, so close to the film and critiquing our performances or remembering what it took to get that shot. And when we just watched it as audience members, we realized just how amazing of a movie it was. Rachel's character is very different from the one you played in White on Rice, but she's still very much you. And take a look at this script and let me know what you think. And we just had a couple conversations afterwards. And, since it's a trilogy now, I'll be working with him again and again. But what the funny thing is, Sheila and I worked with him on Yes, We're Open as an actor. And he's so different as an actor than he is as a director. I mean, I had only known him.
He has a good part in it,
Yeah, and he steals the scene, the scenes that he's in. But, he was such a goofball on set, which I didn't get to see, because when he's a director, he's a very good director. And you would listen to him. Whereas the person he was as an actor, you might not believe that he was capable of running a set, which he completely is. And actually, I didn't know that we were doing a sequel until we had our premiere at South by Southwest. I'd read it in the trades, actually. I saw it in Variety and was like, you're doing a sequel? And they were like, yeah. And I was like, am I in it? And they were like, yes. And I was like, great.
Okay. When does filming start on that then?
Well, Daylight Savings we had finished, but the third one is still being written. Aside from Karen Anna Chung, obviously, I was the first one cast, because I look like Karen Anna Chung. People often mistake us for one another. So when when they were writing the part, and they were coming up with who to play the sister, she was like Lynn Chen, obviously.
You're a sister.
So actually, the first day I showed up on set, because we had been, whenever I was telling people that we were doing this movie together, everyone was like, "Oh, but you look so much alike." I showed up on set and I looked in the mirror and I realized our hair was too similar, and I said, "Cut me some bangs." Like, I sat right down and was like, we need to differentiate ourselves. So they cut bangs, and actually I thought it worked for the character because she was supposed to be a lot more rigid and conservative. Yeah. So it worked. I came home and my husband was not happy that I had done that. But that way you could tell us apart.
What was your experience of the reactions to that movie?
Well, it's funny because a lot of people don't know that it's me, because now I look, differently. Yeah. And I've actually met a few people a few times who were like, "You were so awful in that movie." Like that I'm just so mean and uptight and,